Oh, excuse me. Ew! Pardon me. Johnny's and beer, the beer. Sorry. John's beer, the beer, and TV Ramble looking at Sierra Nevada Porter. 5.6 ABV by volume. It's better look from up here. Drinking this beer. Hope the thing stays. 5.6 ABV by volume. This is one of the Sierra Nevada's signature brews that they have in their staple of other beers. Of course, Sierra Nevada, of course, some say the one of the founding fathers of the, along with Boston Beer Company, as well as also um, Anchor Brewery out also in the Bay Area in California. Sierra Nevada's up in Southern California, Chico. Well, many consider those three breweries, Boston Beer Company, of course, to make a semi-house, as sort of the founding fathers of the big craft beer movement that really began in, some say, in the 70s. It started and then kind of blew an explosion in the 80s, and here we are now. So 5.6, a porter style. Looking at the beer, of course, Chico, California, their home base, and also Mills River in North Carolina. Love the Carolinas. Porter is a testament to the roasted malts, which give it a rich, bittersweet, and roasted coffee-like flavor. That's the perfect complement to a variety of foods, and it is gives you that. As you look at the color of the beer right here, it's a nice American porter style, a little dark, very malty. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Had to get some things arranged. Um, as you can see, if you can smell it, it does. And a nice little head, you can see. I really like the head in this beer. Very, you can just smell a little sense of that coffee flavor to it, but it's not overly with that coffee taste. So, a little sweetness you can see. It's not bad. Now it comes to taste. Very good. A little bitter bite to it at the end, but not bad. Um, Sierra Nevada, as I said, really been on the founding of these sort of craft beers. Really been out there, and of course I've had the pale ale, which I like a lot. Um, doesn't get it. I don't get it as often as I would like to. Tend like many, I tend to go through the macros and uh, uh, the big boys. I'll if I can swing it and wing it on my beer budget, I'll get it. But most times I'll go towards the go to the High Lives or the Ice Houses or the Milwaukee's Best, and sample some of those. And as you can see right here, very nice little finish, just a little malty. Pairing food wise with this, you can do any smoked meat, any smoke strong like Gouda cheese. A nice grilled steak will go good with this. A porter, has a very rich flavor. It kind of reminds me of a beer. Some would say this beer will say brings you back to the days of what the founding fathers would drink these styles of beer. Maybe it is, I don't know, but I've had a porter before, and I've always enjoyed porters and stouts. And usually this time of year, as we can see, it gets very cool. And I mean, it's already not cool, but it's getting very a bit cold now outside, and people will, and there's nothing wrong with that if you drink your Miller High Lifes and your Bushes and your Buds and you know ice houses and all these different ice beers is okay. But I think sometimes people would like to have something they can go to bed with and something comforting and something dark and a little more flavorful. And usually, and that's just me, I'll have those, but from time to time, I will have something like this during this time of year, something like, this or the Guinness, stout, um, or the, you know, Lagunitas Imperial Stout, which for some odd reason, for whatever reason, is not, we were getting in our area now. I can barely find the SOB. That would have been perfect to have tonight, or the Bourbon Barrel Stout that Abita puts out, which is excellent. 10% ABV. It's really good, very perfect. I mean, the really good stout. Um, we don't get another stout, another porter, excuse me. Also the 1050. Now, getting back to the porters here, another porter that we don't get here um, is the dark porter by Yingling, which would be something that I would love to try. I know my home back home in New Jersey, we can get it any place, um, but with the porters, I say this one is kind of frequent, as is another porter. I think Abita has a porter that's also out that I haven't tried yet, but um, oh well. But this is really good. And again, I bought this bottle for $1.79 at Rouse's, so ain't bad for the price. Again, this is really really good. Um, 5.6%. It's not that strong. Could in the range is not a malt, high gravity brew, but good enough. But the texture is very smooth. The texture is really good. You could taste a little sweetness and going down with the finish in the end. Little bite, as I mentioned, but really really good. I like this a lot. I'm gonna give this thing a 9.5. This is very good. The bro, um, great score on Beer Advocate as well as the Bros. They give it, I think, in the 80s, which is very good, and I can see why. This is really good. 9.5. I think it's a really good score for this beer. So, and as I mentioned, the food pairings you compare with this, barbecue, again, smoked meats, a grilled steak, a grill porterhouse, will be good with this brew. So, um, with some veggies or something like that, nice baked potato. But leave your comments on the bottom. Tell me what you think about this. If you've had this before, and if you something that you would love to try out yourself. And again, that the 6 pack of this beer goes about maybe depends what store you are across the country, wherever you are. But I think in my area here in the Mobile, Alabama area, it's average. I think it's like $8.99 for a sixer. So maybe too high for some, maybe reasonable for others. Depends where you are across the country, or around the world, whoever's watching. Um, so, and see some of the bottle right over here. So, I like this beer a lot. I think it's pretty decent, very good. Um, so, I won't go on. Again, 9.5, great beer, very good. I should have bought me another one. I'm not gonna have this tonight before I go to bed. But again, leave your comments. Tell me what you think on the bottom. John Anderson here, the Beer TV Ramble, telling you to keep watching, and as always, cheers.